Hello everyone, this is Kwemoi Philip Sikor from Makerere University, Department of Computer Science. I want to take you through a project of weeding maize using artificial intelligence. I'll take you through the abstract, whereby we bring in artificial intelligence to help us in detecting of weeds from maize plantation through the help of computer vision and a lot more, as you'll see. This is just our abstract. Thank you. So the introduction, we have the keywords, that is artificial intelligence. The keywords in our project are artificial intelligence, weeding, maize, and the introduction part of it, we focus on Uganda, whereby agriculture is the backbone of the economy. But we have grown many crops in Uganda. Maize is one of them. We focused on maize. In maize, we saw that maize production is affected by many things. We focused on weeds, whereby weeds is a major challenge in our farms, whereby it's a big problem actually, that our maize plants are affected by weeds. They compete for food, light, nutrients, for all that. So we bring in artificial intelligence, whereby we develop vehicle-like robots that carry out the weeding by the help of computer vision. So let's see how this comes in. So the background and motivation of this project comes in, whereby we are talked of the whereby our maize plants are affected by weeds, whereby as they compete for water, food, light, nutrients. So we see that as so the old ways of controlling weeds have been phasing out. The modern ways, such as spraying, is harmful. So here all we do is we better bring in machine learning, which is less less effective to humans, and it will help. So let's see let's see more. Moving on to the next one, we shall talk about the literature review. So the literature review, there is supervised learning and unsupervised learning. So in supervised learning, we shall this is where we use labeled input and output data in our data sets. Then for in supervised learning, we used a linear classifier model to decide on the categories of set data points. So linear, it enabled us to identify maize plants by its color, size, and nature of the leaves, giving the difference from the weeds, thus helping in the process. So, and in the unsupervised learning, we used the clustering and the different category whereby we group the different categories of maize and the different categories of wheat. So these are grouped differently, and each of them is put in its own group. Moving, we have the research gaps in our literature. Supervised learning, it faces the problem of similarity or close likeliness between maize plants and some of the different categories of weeds. Thus, it's disadvantageous, since the difference could be very minor. And then for unsupervised learning, the clustering tends to be a challenge, because dealing with large number of dimensions and large amounts of data items could be problematic due to the time complexity. So the clusters of the different image data of the maize plants and the very many different wheat categories tend to be large, thus being a big challenge. Our methodology talks about how we can come up with this machine, the tools, the setup for this machine to come up and to work effectively, whereby it can be able to uproot the weeds and leave the maize standing on a farm. So here we see how the setup comes in. We talk about the X tool, the XI, the image-based visual surveying, IBVS, the X tool sensor, the cameras. Yeah. So a combination of all this will help us come up with a machine that enables us to carry out the weeding on a farm with ease. So that is it for the methodology. We go and look at the significance of the project. So this project helps us to reduce on the negative effects of other traditional weeding techniques or the traditional methods such as spraying chemicals and manual weeding. Because manual weeding could come with inaccuracy, tiresome, people get tired, it's expensive, many others. Then for chemicals, you see that chemicals could be harmful to both man and also the plants sometimes. Then the scope of the project. The project involves the use of machine learning to develop a quality machine that helps in weeding of a maize farm through the help of computer vision. This will enable the machine to differentiate between maize plants and the different categories of weeds by the help of the computer vision. So the machine, a programmed machine, will be able to differentiate, and it will be able to uproot the weeds, and it will leave the maize standing. So our problem statement, I think we had looked at this earlier, whereby the weeds compete for food, water, light, nutrients with maize plants on a maize farm. The traditional methods are so expensive, like that, spraying, harmful, yeah. So we see that machine learning could help us curb this problem, and as we had identified through the use of different weed categories, this helps to reduce the negative effects of the old and traditional methods of weeding, which could have not been favorable for a very long time, thus increasing the production of maize, which are on high demand. Dataset description. Computer vision cameras used to detect weeds and the maize. Several images of the maize plants are taken and saved into the machine, so that if the machine comes across them, it does not uproot them. On the other hand, several images of the weeds are also taken, saved, and the machine is commanded to uproot these if it comes across them. So our things, we have reduced data, we have good quality, those are the factors. And then we have consistency, we have variables. So that is it for our data set description. We have the data preparation and exploratory data analysis, whereby we have the heat maps. These ones help in directing the users to the areas on data visualization that matter the most. The data lies on the side of the maize of the heat map. Then the correlation matrix displays the correlation coefficients for different variables. It helps to display. Then the box plot, it depicts a group of numerical data through quartiles, whereby the maize will take the upper quartile and the weeds take the lower quartile. Outlier plot, the farthest point from the relation line. So I would like to acknowledge our lecturers, Mr. Galuwango and Rose Nachibule, Doctor, for giving us the opportunity. It has broadened our knowledge in machine learning, artificial intelligence. So our conclusion, the success of this will help in our conclusion and the future prospects. The success of this project will help in removal of weeds from plant. That is the problem of like farms, yeah. Then in the future, we plan to look for sponsorship to implement this project, such that it can be helpful to many farmers out there. I've been encouraged by many people to do so, and I hope it will come to pass. Thank you. See you in the next one.